everybody received a lot of stuff in your packets, okay? And one of the things that we're going to learn today is all the things you need for math, okay? Because we have a time and on our schedule that it's just we are learning a math, okay? So a lot of you got a workbook. Just like this, it says, Go Math. And at the very top, it'll say the chapter, okay? And for this time, we are only working on chapter 1, okay? So it should be a number 1 up there, okay? And that's what you're gonna use for math. So every single time the teacher says, take out your math books, your math workbooks, this is what you're gonna take out, okay? So cuando es tiempo de matemáticas, la maestra va a decir que saque su libro de matemáticas y este es el libro que va a sacar, okay? Es por capítulo y va a ser capítulo 1, okay? Este aquí. So you'll take that out. You'll need a pencil because you'll need to do your math problem. Va a necesitar un lápiz para hacer sus problemas en matemáticas en su libreta, okay? And then you will need a whiteboard, okay? Everybody got a whiteboard. So that way when we do practicing math, we'll do some problems with the teacher and you'll need your whiteboard so that way you can work on that, okay? And then you'll need your eraser, so it could be a tissue. I gave everybody a little tiny square erasers. You can use that, or you can use a tissue. Or, that works really well, or your hands, okay? So, su pizarrón, su borrador, okay? Eso es lo que necesita también para matemáticas. Lápiz and eraser. Okay, borrador and pencil, okay? And then also inside, you had one of these, and it's kind of hard to see, but let me see if I can show you. Inside, you have one of these too, okay? And I gave some students that ones are in Spanish, and then gave some students that have it in English, okay? So in the box right here, it's the number of the day that we're focusing, okay? So if it's number 1, that's where we're gonna write the number, okay? And then here, escribir or write, you'll write out the number name, okay? So you write it out there. And then you'll marca is your tally, so you'll do a little stick to show what that number looks like, okay, with a tally. And then dibujar, draw, okay? You're gonna draw that many items of what the number of the day is, okay? So if you have this one today with you, please take it out. We're gonna practice with one of these. So take it out if you have it. And then you're gonna need a marcador, okay? That's what you're gonna need with this. And we're just gonna practice so that way you guys can see what I mean when we're gonna practice for the number of the day. So saque su página que dice número, escribe, dibuja y marca y encuentra, and then marcador, okay? So if you have that, go ahead and take it out. And then this is what we will do. So let's say, I say the number of the day is 2, okay? So el número va a ser 2. So I'm gonna write 2. Okay, so that's where the number is gonna go. Aquí va a estar el número, okay? This is where we're gonna write it. Then it says, write it out. So you're gonna write it in English or in Spanish sometimes, okay? So, 2 or 2. So I wrote the word 2. And then here, we're gonna tally it. So we're gonna tally by how many, to show that what this number 2 looks like in tallies, okay? So we're gonna go 1, that's 1 tally, and 2 tallies. So now we showed how many tallies are to show the number 2, okay? Now we're gonna draw. So you could be anything. It could be anything. It could be hearts, flowers. It could be smiley faces, whatever you want. So vamos a dibujar algo que muestra el número 2. Okay, so we're gonna draw something here that shows the number 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw smiley faces. So I'm gonna go 1, and 2. So I drew right here in this box, we're gonna draw that number of items in here, okay? So I drew 2. And then right here it says, we're going to find the number 2. So we're going to look at this number line and we're going to find the number 2 because vamos a encontrarlo, okay? So I see there's 1 and there's the 2. So I'm going to circle it because that's where the number 2 is on the number line. So I'm going to bring that real close so you can see it. See how I circled the number 2? Because that's what the number 2 is on the number line. So encontré el número 2. Okay. So you'll do that sometimes at the number of day during math, and then we'll need this so that way we could do problems, math problems. And of course your notebook. Now, in here, in this blue folder here, remember this is all for homework. So if I say put your math paper inside your homework folder, this is where it's going to go, okay? So, tarea de matemáticas va a entrar en su carpeta azul, okay? So make sure you do that. So those are the things that we're gonna need for math, okay? And then during math time, I will teach you something, and then we're gonna break into groups, and you're gonna be working with either me or a different teacher, Señora Núñez or Señora González, okay? So también vamos a trabajar juntos y después vamos a trabajar en grupos y a veces va a trabajar con Señora Núñez o Señora González. Okay? All right. So I want everybody. Okay, so I just want to review it again. The workbook, you are only allowed to use a pencil for your workbook, okay? That Go Math workbook, only a pencil. I don't want to see pen. You cannot use pen. You cannot use Crayolas unless the teacher says, okay? And you cannot use your markers for your expo markers on these, okay? Only pencil for these or crayons if your teacher says, but always, always use pencil, okay? And on your worksheet, the number of the day worksheet, we don't use pencil or pen on these. We use only the expo markers, okay? So solamente para la página del número día va a usar su marcador, okay? No lápiz, no pluma, solamente marcador, okay? El pizarrón, the whiteboard, only marker, no pens, no pencils, only the expo marker that I gave you, and it looks just like this, okay? So pizarrón, solamente su marcador que les di, así se ve, y pizarrón aquí, okay? Va a usar este. No lápiz, no plumas, no otro marcador. So do not use another marker, only use this kind, because otherwise it will not erase. Si usa otra cosa, no va a borrar. Okay, so expo marker only on these. And these, okay? No other markers, just the expo markers. Okay?